right, nice to get a win. Nice to play everybody. Nice to see a lot of guys score. And look, our team needs a little bit of confidence right now. And the hope is that we got a little bit of that in the second half. And I think confidence is a funny thing. You got to work hard to get confidence individually, but then there's also a team aspect of confidence that you've got to be confident in playing one another. You got to be confident in what you're doing, what you're trying to execute, and you got to be confident that what you're trying to do is going to work, and you're not living in frustrations with one another in terms of the ball getting stuck and guys taking bad shots and having bad turnovers and things like that. And look, there's no secret about it. I mean, you look at the last 4 halves of basketball. You take this second half, we shot the ball well. But before that, I mean, 2 for 17, 2 for 13, 2 for 16. And I haven't been able to grade the shots from the night, but you take the Northern Iowa game, and it's easy to say, hey, these guys can't make shots. Well, 20 to 33s we took weren't good shots. And so, when you start taking great shots, there's a synergy to it. There's a confidence and a trust that builds in one another. The ball starts moving. You start kind of feeling like, hey, I'm supposed to hit this one, and then you start seeing the ball drop. And so we really worked a lot the past couple of days on just getting good movement, making sure the ball's popping, getting in our concepts easier, trying to learn what we're doing a little bit better, like to really focus on our execution, but not just our execution, but just really playing for one another. And I thought even in the first half, I was trying to stay calm. I had a feeling that we would be a little tight out of the gate, and we were. We threw that thing all over the place. I mean, we had that ball being chucked all over the gym for the first 5 minutes, and then we couldn't make a shot. But to this team's credit, just like on Friday night, I mean, in Iowa, like they'll play hard now. I mean, they play hard. They rebound the ball. They defend. We've made some good strides defensively, but we needed to see the ball drop. So, second half, just to put in perspective, I mean, we made 5 threes in the first 5 minutes of the second half. That's almost as much as we made in the previous 3 halves combined of 6. And it's a hard game when that ball's not going in, but you got to earn the right to make shots. And I think there was a bunch of possessions, like 24 assists. I don't care who you're playing. If you're getting 24 assists on 31 made shots, that ball's moving. And I was pleased to see that tonight. I thought we had some good individual efforts. I thought one of the ones that won't get talked about a ton. I thought Coop had a phenomenal game. And I thought he really set the tone defensively for us in his ball screen defense and also his rim protection. I thought he did a great job. They chose to double him on catch, which they probably didn't feel like they had the size to do it down there. But man, he played hard. And those post players are playing now. I mean, it's been fun to watch those guys grow. Coach Carlson came over from Golden State, and he was a phenomenal post player at Northern Iowa himself. But it's been fun watching him work with that group. And to see, you look at Charles, you look at what Coop's done on the year so far. You even can see some flashes out of Owen tonight, and he's done a phenomenal job with his group, with his position group. And then I get a text from our strength coach tonight. I think Cooper, Charles, and Owen all had their highest exertions that they've had in the game so far this season in terms of just the technology they wear, showing max effort. And they're getting rewarded for it, And so I thought Coop did a great job. I thought obviously Chuck did a great job, and it's fun to watch Asa play like that. I mean, it's Ace is a fun basketball player to watch, especially when he gets rolling from 3. Shot maker, but man, like good cutter, knows sees the game well, has some savvy to him, and he's got a nice demeanor, nice confidence about him, and so decided to put him in the starting lineup tonight, and went for 22 points, made 4 threes, which this team needs right now. We need to see, when you see somebody else knock one in, it gives you a little belief that you can knock one in. If everybody else has missed it before you shot it, that next one you're shooting seems a little heavier. And so was proud of him. And then Lex, I thought, was efficient. Lex didn't shoot quite as many shots tonight, but man, he had 10 points on 5 shots, and I think that's good. We want to continue to get those turnovers down. But man, he finally hit the 3 to kind of open it up, and then House came in and hit that 3 right before halftime. And then second half we finally started looking like a Furman basketball offense for a little bit.
Coach, I thought it was kind of ironic in a way at the start that you did have, because you were a little unglued and you were missing the personification of a glue guy. in Mid-Vanderbilt. And can you just speak to what his deal is and, you know, how y'all responded to not having him out there?
Yeah, so Ben will be back. I mean, it's not going to be anything long term, and you know, more I would say Ben's more day to day, and you know, probably could have played, but just wasn't worth it. You know, it's better to just give him a little bit of time, and he should be back. He should be back. I would not for sure, but I would expect him to play on Sunday if things go well Friday, Saturday, and yeah, he's a guy that he works really hard. You know, he competes and makes some things go, and you know, he's been great this week trying to lead through, you know, some of the things that we've been trying to lead and work through, and you know, I've had some good talks with him throughout the week, and he's been great. So, you know, everything was clean on the imaging. It's more precautionary at this point, and you know, again, if he should be back out there Sunday. If not, he should be at Disney playing.
Who do you think kind of stepped up and did some of the things that he's done?
Like I said, I think a lot of that was Coop. I thought Coop and Chuck did a great job there. You know, I thought they did a lot of the dirty work. You know, especially in the paint, ball screen. I thought our hedges were good. I thought we really impacted on our hedges, and you know, I think that. Look, it's got. I also thought some of the freshmen. I thought Colin O'Neill came in and played some good minutes for us, and in terms of just defensive intensity, and you know, has to continue to learn the playbook and learn some of the things we're doing out there offensively. But I thought he competed hard on defense. Their little number 3 is a good player. I mean, that boy can shoot now. I mean, I was watching them, and I was just like, man, we're gonna have our hands full with this guy. And I asked Ed and Baba and Colin to pick him up full court just to try to apply a little bit of pressure there. And I thought Ed did a good job of that to start the game, tired him out a little bit. But you know, I thought everybody did it. Look, in this whole stretch outside the High Point game, I haven't worried about it for one time with school. You know, it hasn't been. In High Point, we didn't play hard enough. Like we got what we got because of it. But all the games, I mean, the Troy game was a battle. You know, our guys battled. In Northern Iowa, I mean, to have the ball with 11 minutes to go, down 10, when you're shooting 7% from the 3-point line, is hard to do. You know, versus a team that's pretty good. And our defense and our rebounding is what continues to keep us in these games. And you know, that's what I'm telling our guys. Like, hey, look, we're better than we think. I'm telling you, it's a better ball club than you think. We gotta keep growing. We gotta keep, but like that ball starts going in, and this offense starts popping, and we start trusting one another, and you know, the ball doesn't get stuck as much, and we're able to execute. We know what we're doing. It's going to be a fun team to watch because they do play hard, and they're getting better defensively, and they do rebound the ball. But there's a certain way you got to play on offense, and you know, hopefully in the second half, really the whole game, but the second half we found a little bit more of a rhythm.
Now you've had guys in the past that have been pretty good passers like Matt Rafferty and others, but you have 2 in Cooper Bowser and Charles Johnson that really, I think, share the ball as good as any big man in mid-major basketball that I've seen. Can you just talk about their kind of their synergy that they have with one another out there? Because they do share the ball particularly well between one another.
Well, you know, we made a decision to try to get our best 5 on the court to start the game, that we were going to try to play double big this year. And, you know, it's not something that we've done a lot in our time here. And, you know, those guys are close. They don't really compete who's option 1, who's option 2. They're 2 totally different players, but they complement each other well. And they're both, you know, when they're both playing well, I mean, they can put a lot of pressure on you just because Chuck can shoot it. He can rebound. You know, he's a smart player. He can play facing up. You know, Cooper keeps expanding his game. I mean, I think, you know, you just look at the back-cut pass he threw tonight, and he's getting more comfortable making some of those passes and plays. People have tried to historically pressure him there, but I think he's getting a little bit more comfortable with the ball and his knowledge of the offense. And then he's just really good around the basket. And you know, the Northern Iowa game, we really tried to establish him. I mean, I've said it privately forever. I mean, I tell our team all the time, we got to give him the ball. I mean, we have to get him the ball. And he's too efficient of a player not to give him the ball, and you know, he needs 10 shots a night. I mean, that's what it's got to be. And you know, if we're running good offense and the ball's moving, we're getting side to side, we're getting in and out of screens. Like, a lot of it's going to come in flow because he's going to put so much pressure on the rim. But then we got to be at a post, and we got to be able to get him to spots. And they doubled him tonight, basically on catch, and it was going to be a little tough. But I thought he handled that well. I thought he did a good job not forcing it, and I thought he did a good job keeping his head in the game.
everybody will always kind of talk about the 3-point shooting. The 2-point shooting, you missed 2 twos in the first half, 5 in the second half, and it's like, you know, sometimes that's difficult even for great teams to make that many. And I wanted to ask too, just about, you know, you trying to get more, you want, you know, Cooper to get more shots and everything. But I just thought the team, it was a weird thing in there in the first half. It seemed like every trip down almost, you had good ball movement, open three, miss, offensive rebound, and then you finally started getting some of those putbacks. And I thought that was really, when you finally were able to get the lead there and kind of kept it going from there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know if I've seen 3 halves of basketball with that few of threes made. Now, I think, you know, the Northern Iowa game was credit to them. I mean, obviously they're very good defensively, but also, look, there's nobody that's more of a fan of the 3-point shot than myself, but there's got to be, you got to shoot that thing with room to land. You got to catch it in rhythm, and you got to make sure you're within your range. It's the right guy at the right time. Northern Iowa, we shoot 33s, 20 of them are not good threes. You know, so it's 2/3 of our threes were not what you would call high quality 3-pointers. And then you look at it, you know, we took 31 good shots in that Northern Iowa game. Well, 17 of those were twos. And so, you know, our 2-point field goal percentage is going to have to be elite. I mean, we're playing 2 6-11s, right? And then Vanderwall's got a great ability to finish at the rim. Northern Iowa played Northern Illinois last night. They scored about the same amount of points we had. The final score is basically the same thing. You look at the box, they hit 9 threes. Well, if we would have hit 9 threes, then that's a 15-point gap. I mean, that's a one-possession ball game. Anybody can win it at that point. I'm probably not going to get the tech, you know, so that cuts it to 14. You got a chance to win the game. But what that shows you is how good we are from 2. And I think where this team's going to have to adjust and where this team's going to have to understand is, like, with our size, with the amount of people that we have that can put pressure on the rim, we're gonna have to go get some twos. Like, we're gonna have to be able to dominate paint. We're gonna have to be able to be intentional getting the ball to the rim, and then let our guys who can make shots shoot. But we get out there, and like everybody, I mean, it's like you're at the State Fair, pay your $10 and get all your rubber balls you want. You can't just be out there firing balls up. You know, like, we can't just be punting threes up. And, you know, we had Northern Iowa, there's 3 threes we take in transition. And man, I mean, you would have thought we were on a slip and slide. I mean, we were just running full speed and just catching the ball and just chucking it. And you freeze the clip. And every single one of them, there's one man to beat on a pump fake, and we'd go right by and we'd put the ball off the board. Well, that's 6 points right there. Now you're 4 for 27 from 3. You take those 6 points, now we're at a 10-point game. Take off my tech, now we're at an 8-point game. Right? Even with only hitting 4 threes, you still have a shot. And this team is having to learn a little bit of that, right? I mean, like, how many guys have you seen in these first 5 or 6 games that will shot fake? Like, it's been a staple for us forever. I mean, we're in there this morning watching Clay Mouse shot stop. Clay can shoot the ball, but he was also smart enough, like, he's going to show it. I mean, how many times do you remember Jalen Slauson at the top of the key and all those coaches getting so mad? Because, boy, he'd just show it, and then they would lift, and then he would drive the ball, and the ball's in the paint. And we're playing off of 2 feet, and we're cutting behind it. That's Furman basketball. Furman basketball is not running around jacking threes, okay? Furman basketball is getting the ball to the paint, playing off of 2 feet, kicking the ball, getting multiple passes, getting layups off of cuts, right? Getting layups off of 2-foot plays, off of pivots, and then assisted threes. And then if we can run in transition, we got the rebound, and Lex got the ball, and he threw it across the court to Asa, and he's in the corner, and he's wide open, and his feet are set. Well, guess what? Asa hit that one, right? And those are the ones that you're looking for in transition. I think we're learning, right? Like, this team has good intent. They all want to be out there, and they all want to score. And you know what? In order to be a great team, there's got to be some sacrifice. They're all not going to be able to be out there, and they're all not going to be able to score. And we have to really use this early part of the season to figure out what these roles look like. And as a staff, we've got to give role clarity, and as a team, they've got to give role acceptance. And I think that's what allows you to be great. And they want to do it. They want to win. I know that. Like, I can see it. But man, we just need that. We need to go do the things that are necessary in order to have success and quit worrying about if you're making shots. Worry about if you're working hard to get the best shot and if you're helping each other get quality looks. And my guess is tonight, if we had 25 bad shots at Northern Iowa, I bet we'll have 10 or less tonight. That'd be my guess. I thought we did a much better job with that. And, but we got a lot of work to do. So off tomorrow, and then we got to have 2 great days, Friday and Saturday. And we got a really good opponent coming here in Queens on Sunday. And will be a heck of a game.
Just the final question I had is defensively. I think I looked at KenPom earlier today. I think Furman was second in the league in defensive rating, which one thing I've noticed is they do settle down and guard maybe differently than some other teams that you've had. Can you just speak to that?
Yeah, second in the league. Look, everybody's playing different people, and that's where I'll defend our team a little bit. We've played the hardest schedule by far, and Chad, I'll put them in there as well. They've gone out to St. Mary's, UNLV, had to go to Florida Gulf Coast, but it's hard until you start playing each other. But for us to play the quality of opponent that we've played and to be second in the league, or second in the conference right now defensively, that shows we've made some defensive strides, and that's taken out the first game where we played no defense in the High Point game. And Coach Pierre's done a phenomenal job there. He and Coach Kimball have done it. It's been fun to watch those guys. Our staff gets along so well together. And Coach Estep and Coach Carlson, they help me with the offense, and then Coach Joe and Coach Kimball, they do the defense. And they communicate with one another. They talk to one another. There's no territorialism. They try to figure out what the best plan is. And they've done a good job of just, hey, we got to keep getting better at habits. And there's a lot of habits that we've got to continue to get better in. But I think you can see a lot of that growth. I think there's some sound possessions where, like tonight, like even in games like this, you think of a lot of the non-ones that we've played. You're winning like 100-60. And it felt a little bit different tonight. We're winning like 79-44. Well, we're making it. How many times do we make them play like long possessions, right? And shot clock violations and tough late twos. And that's the nature of this defense. Is can you outlast? Can you endure them? Can you make them take a tough two? And those guys have done a great job with our team of really making sure that we get our habits better and that we work on them every day. And could be more pleased with the direction that we're heading on that side. So it's a different deal. I just said this on radio. Usually when we're not playing well, it's like, hey, we're doing some decent things offensively. We got to play better defense, and it's a little bit of a flip script. And the reality is, I was so fixated on getting our D better, especially knowing how young we were. I probably made some mistakes in terms of install and what we got in, and tried to kind of. I would have done a few things different, but it's late's better than never. And so, we've added a few things this week. We'll continue to add a few more. We'll try to simplify the play package and try to help these guys get a little bit cleaner in execution. But we're going to be a good offensive team, and we've shown flashes of that. And we gotta find complete. That's the whole key to this. At some point, the game's got to be complementary, and that's the element of the game we're not seeing right now. We're getting these stops and we're getting these rebounds, but we're not making people pay in transition like we're used to around here. And we gotta get a little bit better in those areas. So that's the fun stuff to work on. But it's not many times we've been in here saying we got to get better offense, but we'll get there. And I got full faith in this team. We got a group that wants to work. These guys don't mind working at all. It's been fun to see that. And these young guys are hungry too. They don't mind playing hard. They don't mind going out there and giving it all they got on defense. So we're gonna keep getting better.